Hi, this is Brennan Davis from Bedrock Games and the Bedrock blog, and today I just wanted to talk about our latest release, Temple of the Jade Mercies. This is one of our Sects of the Martial World book. We've been putting one out a month. Right now, I'm planning on releasing about 12 of them, and then we'll see what happens after I get to number 12. I don't want to just commit to doing them for all of eternity. If it turns out 12 is enough, or I just don't, I don't have the energy to keep making interesting ones. So I know I can make 12 interesting ones, and then after that, we'll see what happens. I might shift to like some other kind of monthly PDF, or I might continue with them. So this one is inspired loosely by films like Come Drink with Me and Temple of the Jade Lotus. There's in fact a couple of direct nods to Come Drink with Me with one of the character names and things like that. It's essentially a martial clan that is uh, a group of wicked monks, nuns, and abbots. They're like it's a temple that is really the front of a criminal network, and I won't say more than that, but that's basically what the book is. And next month I'm going to be doing Crocodile Sect, and after Crocodile Sect, we'll kind of do a thematic break where things might get a little bit different with these books. There'll still be martial sects, but the nature of the sect for book 5 is going to feel different, I think, than the first four, and you'll kind of see that the first four maybe link a little bit thematically, whereas the ones following that have a different vibe to them. I'm going to see if I can maintain that. I have to. I have 12 in my. I have about six completely done. I got 12 sort of planned out in my head, and I it depends on how it all kind of pans out, but I'm trying to kind of do them in thematic chunks. And the Crocodile Sect, as well as the Temple of the Jade Mercies, uh, these all have. So these last two books are a little bit more heavy on the art content than the typical Sect of the Martial World book is. So I just want people to know that if they get this book and the next book, we splurged a little bit on art because there was some content I felt was necessary. In the Temple of Jade Mercies, because there were a lot of items that were really important, I got some additional art to illustrate those items. Normally, because these books are just 50 cents, and they're not like big revenue generators. We make them so that we can give people an illustration of how to prep for the game, and also give people the martial sects that they might need to populate their campaign. This is basically how I prepare for my sessions. I make a bunch of martial sects, and so I kind of turn that idea into the sects of the martial world books. Uh, so we normally, only limit ourselves to an illustration of the sect as a whole, and then images of the individual sect members. But in these two books, we've gone a little bit heavier than normal. So I just don't want people to expect that every single time. Um, and after that, I'm going to be doing the Ogre Gate Inn and Strange Land of Lifan. That's a sort of supplement module, and then following that, we'll be doing the War of Swarming Beggars, which is another module supplement. They're almost opposites. The Ogregate Inn and Strange Land of Lifan leans much more heavily on the supplement end of things. So it's very dense on the supplement material, gives you a lot of information on Haiyan, and then it has kind of like an adventure location, adventure section. The War of Swarming Beggars is the opposite. It leans more heavily on the adventure location and the adventure section, and lighter on the supplement. And I did that intentionally because I want to get a sense, number one, of what people want, but also it's what each book seemed to call for. The Leaf Fawn book, Leaf Fawn is an area I really needed to develop more. I needed to give more information on. Haiyan, I don't think required that quite as much. What I wanted to do with the Haiyan book was give a detailed section of a particular area in Haiyan, and give a more broad stroke overview of the rest of it. So that's sort of the goal with those. My other goal was try to have the War of Swarming Beggars book be more aimed for brevity with description entries, so that it's easier to kind of play at the table. And the Lee Fawn book is a little denser, so that it's something that you read in advance, and you kind of immerse yourself in the setting material as a game master. I like both approaches, and I wanted to try both with the book. So that's something that we'll be doing. Every book is going to feel quite different. I think I'm going to try to just have each book be its own thing and done in its own way, And I think that when you do that, you just kind of end up with more interesting stuff that people can use. And so, it's not going to be. What I don't want to do is I don't want to have a line where it's like it all looks and feels exactly the same. I want things to kind of have a different vibe sometimes, have a different kind of content, and we'll definitely be illustrating that with the follow up to War is Swarming Beggars, which is a new rule book that I've only got it in sort of the conceptual phase, so I can't really get into it too detailed, but we're working on a new system that's still linked to Ogregate, but it's but I think kind of interesting. And then we're going to be doing the Profound book, and I just am giving us time to make sure the Profound book is right. So if you have an Ogregate campaign and you have some feedback or anything like that, especially around the Profound Master stuff, definitely give me your opinions. They're going to factor in as we're designing this. Like if you've run the game and you've reached the profound levels and you're like, oh, this just does not work for me. I hate this part of the game, or this really works. You got to keep this. That stuff's going to be really helpful to me. So definitely let us know. And I've got some people that are playing with us now that I think really are giving me a better sense of how this is going to develop when it comes to the profound master campaign supplements. And I'll go into that in a little bit, but I don't want. That's going to be another video. So anyways, I'll hopefully be on again shortly with a video on Come Drink with Me. This is something I've been meaning to kind of talk about this week, so I'll try to do that. And until then, I will talk to you later.